Hi, in this tutorial we are going to see some ways of iterating lists. So we have been covering some of the list functionalities in previous videos, but one operation that we'll most certainly need is basically iterating the lists and doing some kind of operation or getting its elements. So we will first declare a new list, so my list with the square brackets notation we have been using before. I'm going to put here 10 elements. Okay, and now we need to take into consideration that when accessing the list elements we don't want to read outside its boundaries. In this case we have 10 elements, we cannot access the 11th one. So something that I haven't introduced before and we will need is the length function that will allow us to get the length of our list. So I'm going to store this in a variable so I can use it later, but basically we call the len function and pass as input our list. Okay, just to confirm, I'm going to print list length, and we have 10, which is precisely the size of our list. So now we can use it to iterate this value to iterate our list, because this is the stopping condition. I'm going to declare here a variable called iterator, which we will use to access in a while loop each element of the list. Okay, now we are going to do a while iterator is lesser than list length. Note that we should put lesser and not lesser or equal, because lists start at index 0. So if we access the index equal to list length, we are going to be outside its boundaries. So we actually need to iterate this list from 0 to 9, and since the list length is 10, we need to do a lesser condition. So we are going to print my list of iterator, very simple, and we will increment the iterator so we don't end up with infinite loop. Okay, now we give a couple of enters so it finishes the loop, and here we go, we have each element of the list getting printed to our console. But this way, as I've said, we need to be careful and we need to do a previous call to the len function. We need to make sure that we don't write outside the boundaries of the list. There is a safer way, more compact, and in my personal opinion, better way to do this, which is using a for-in loop. So in this case, we simply do something as simple as for element. This element will be a variable that we will access inside our loop, and for element in my list. And what this is going to do is this will iterate our list. We did not need to specify its length or other stuff, and in each iteration of the loop, that element, the element of the current iteration, will be put in the element variable. So what we can do now is print element. Let me do a couple of enters, and here we go, we have exactly the same result, but we don't need to worry about incrementing an iterator. We don't need to know about knowing that list starting index 0 and we should not iterate until the length, and it is much more compact and less error prone. So these are two ways of us to iterate the lists, very simple operations. But let me tell you that, for example, if you wanted to apply some operation to each element and then get the list, there are other approaches such as the map function, the filter function, that we will cover in future tutorials. These are more advanced operations, but for now these are two simple ways of iterating lists. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed the content.